Good morning. I'm Heidi from Modern Bygone Crafts, and this is my weekly vlog of craftiness. I have a giant cup of coffee this morning because it's been a long week. It was a long week as of Monday, but it's been a long week, and now it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. All right. So, video is not going to be very long today because of the injury to my hand. I really didn't get very much crafting done today. It's just been within the last couple of days that I've gotten range of motion back in my finger here, but it is not as swollen. I mean, it's still a little big, but not as swollen as it was. It was like fat. I've got full range of motion with all of my other fingers. It's just this one that's still kind of I can't straighten it any more than that. And it's still a little sore, so I've just haven't been able to craft, unfortunately, which is kind of killing me a little deep in my soul. Update on the basics course. I am done with all of my swatches, which I was done last week. I pulled them all, sorry for the crinkling, I pulled them all off of my blocking boards. They are now in my sleeves, waiting to be labeled. And I still have questions for 3, 4, and 5 to be able to get those typed up. And then I need to get the answers to the questions for those ones typed up. I need to sew in my ends. I definitely don't have the dexterity to sew with a sewing needle hand sew right now. And then I also need to write my introduction letter and type out a list of my books for my knitting references. I did end up getting a couple of new books. I went to the secondhand store and I found this Knit Your Own Zoo, and it's all of these like tiny knit wild animals, and they're absolutely adorable. I don't know if I will ever make any of them, but it was so entertaining to flip through. I need to make myself like a giant penguin, because that'd be hilarious. I also found a wonderful retro 1979 complete guide to needlework. I love these Reader's Digest books with this thing's like, that's massive. And it's got a little bit of everything in it. It isn't necessarily focused on knitting. It does have knitting in it, but I think it's a great resource. I love flipping through these and looking at the different diagrams and the different ideas and pictures, and sometimes you end up with some stitch patterns that maybe have lost favor and just kind of went by the wayside, and now we can bring them back. So super excited to find those. My sleeveless top is still right where it was. Haven't made any progress, but I am down to so small amount of yarn in this color left. And I've decided that I'm gonna really change it up. I think I showed this last time. So I will be able to work on that hopefully this weekend. I have finally gotten enough movement back in my hand that I can knit for very, very small amounts of time. So actually, I guess I lied. I think I did do one more round on that, but that added, this much. So not much. I did cast on for a new headband. It's called Color Remedy, and it's made with short rows. So it starts out nice and thin and then gets wider across the top of the head. and it's done in short rows going back and forth. I've made one before years and years and years ago, but I decided that I would like another one. So yesterday I cast on 120 stitches, long tail, which is not, I'm still learning long tail, and I had to do it twice because I didn't give myself a long enough tail. I still have not figured out the secret for how to judge how long of a tail you need. And even after having done it the second time, so the first time I did it and I definitely did not give myself enough of a tail, ran out. I was like 5 stitches away. And then the next time I left myself, could have done another 100 stitches out of that. So yeah, I don't know how to judge how long to make a long tail cast on. So if you're a knitter and you use the long tail cast on and you have ideas of how to judge how long of a long tail cast on you need so that you don't end up wasting 3 feet of yarn or end up with a tail that's that big and cannot be sewn in, hit me down in the comments, because I don't know. I don't know what that is. I have not really been posting anywhere. Normally I do post daily photos on Instagram and Facebook of my morning craft time. My morning craft time has been, I don't know what I've been doing, honestly. Not crafting, which is sad. I've been reading books. That's what I've been doing instead. And preparing for teaching at home. So I'm doing that a lot in the mornings. But yay. One more week until winter break. And then I'll have a couple weeks off. And that'll be nice, because I could use it. So, little mental recovery. Getting a new student today. All virtual. So I have to set up a meeting with them and their parent this afternoon. We're going to get them all set up on their computer and get their books and everything and their schedule. And then hopefully they can jump right into the schedule for next week and then be on winter break and come back in January. We'll see how it goes. So, but like I said, short video today. No real crafting updates to give. I keep looking at my book like, magically give me something else to talk about. I don't have anything else to talk about. It's been a long week. I've been teaching. Oh, funny story. Went to Marshall's. So my family goes on a winter trip around Christmas time every year. And we normally live on the coast where it's very rainy and wet, and we very rarely get any kind of snow. And then every holiday, Christmas time, we go to a small town a few hours away from us where they normally have quite a bit of snow and it's a little colder. And we stay there for a few days. So my son's fiance is joining us for the first time. And she's never really been to a snowy place. So she doesn't have boots or gloves or hats or scarves or a coat. So I was like, okay, no big deal. We'll take you out. We'll go get some winter wear, right? So we head to Marshall's, get her a coat and some warmer pants, and we find some boots that she likes and we get them. And she's wearing these little booties with the little kitten heels and stuff. And she, as we were leaving the store, she says, oh, these boots that I'm wearing right now are really starting to hurt my feet. And I said, well, when we were in the car, I was like, why don't you just switch into your new boots? No big deal. So she does. And we go to the next store and we walk around a little bit. And she says, these boots feel like they're different sizes. Like one feels tighter than the other. And I was like, well, that's weird. But, some people's feet aren't the same size. Like one of my feet's a little bigger than my other foot. So, maybe it's just you haven't worn boots before. You said you've never worn boots before. So, you're just not used to how they feel. No big deal. So we finish and we drive home, and she gets out of the car and we get into the house, and she looks down and she goes, oh no, I'm like, what? Oh no. And she points at her feet and she goes, oh no. I'm like, what? Oh no. She said, they're different boots. Sure enough, one boot has black fur around the top. The other boot has like brown fur around the top. Like the body of the boot, they're both black. They both, like they look similar, but the top is definitely a different color. And I was like, I ended up with 2 different boots. Okay, well, no big deal. You literally, you wore them inside of another store and then you walked from the car to the house. So like, we'll take them back. We'll get the correct boot. No big deal. So I go back to Marshall's the next day. Now keep in mind, it's a 45-minute one-way drive for me because we live in a tiny town. So we drive up again and I go into Marshall's with my 2 different boots. And I go up to the counter and I'm like, hey, so we were here yesterday and we bought these boots and a bunch of other stuff. And they don't match. Somehow we made it out without boots that match. Like, it's not on your clerk. We made it out with boots that don't match. She was like, really? So she opens up the box. I said, yeah, the body of the boot looks fairly similar, but the top of the boot is definitely different. And they're actually, she goes, oh yeah, and they're different brands. I'm like, awesome. Okay, well, I need 2 of the black-topped boots, please. Because I need a pair that match. She's like, okay, no problem. So she gets someone to go and look in the boots and they bring her a black-top boot and they happen to find a box with only 1 boot in it. So they're like, oh yeah, no, here's the correct box with the correct boot. There's only 1 in it. Must go with yours. Here you go. I'm like, awesome. Of course, they're different prices because, And so I pay the difference in price. I get the 2 boots that match. I head back home. No big deal. So I come back home and I'm like, hey, I got your boots. They actually look the same now. We should be good to go. You've got your winter wear. We're ready for our winter trip. She's like, awesome. And then she pulls them out of the box. We have 2 right boots. Again, we have left the store with a distinctly not full pair of boots. And somehow the clerk and I and my husband and a second worker all missed the fact that it was 2 right boots. So I drove back to Marshall's again the next day. This has been my week. This is why this has been a long week. Drove back to Marshall's. Go in with my box and my stapled receipt, because every time they change it, they give you a new receipt and, show what they did. I go in again and I'm like, hey, 3rd time's the charm, right? So I'm trying to get a functional pair of boots. First day we ended up with 2 different boots. Different brands, everything. It was weird. Second time, I got 2 right boots. So the woman behind the counter, this time she pulls the boots out and she pulls out the one that my son's fiance had worn because she had tried them on and worn them the first night. She's like, this boot has been worn. I was like, yeah, I know. She tried them on. She wore them the first time when we ended up with 2 different boots. I'll keep the ones that she tried on. Can I get one that matches? That's the right foot? Please? I understand that working in customer service right now is not nice. And I'm sure that there are some really, really not nice people coming in and trying to pull one over on the customer or pull one over on the businesses and like, oh, I changed my mind. I don't want these boots. I'm not trying to return them. I just want a pair that actually works. You can look at it and see, yes, yeah, she totally wore one of them. And yeah, she walked from the car to the house. So yes, it was worn outside. I'll keep that one. Can I get one that goes with it? Please? Like, she doesn't have 2 right feet. The other one is obviously unworn, brand new, still has the freaking paper stuffing in it because she pulled it out of the box and went, oh no, I have 2 right boots. This has been my week. This is the kind of thing that has been happening in my week. So we now have a functional pair of boots, a right and a left, and they both match. So she has what she needs to be able to go in the snow. And I don't have to drive to Marshall's for a 3rd day in a row. So yay, that's a bonus. I am not going to drive 45 minutes one way to deal with boots for another time. So, haven't been crafting. This has been my week. Anyways, if you stuck with me that long, I'm Heidi. This is my crafting channel. I do a weekly vlog of what's been happening. And in my crafting world this week, not much. Hand injury. But it's getting better. And next week should be much more crafting. And I should be able to actually make some progress on my sleeveless top. And I can type now-ish. I can type better. How about that? I was like one-handed hunt and peck, left-handed for quite a while. So I can type a little bit, so I should be able to get those questions answered. And hopefully I will have this done, because this one is not a large project. So hopefully this one will be done fairly quickly. And yeah, if you like what you saw, hit subscribe. I do post every week. I'm over on Instagram and Facebook at Modern Bygone. And if you want to click that bell, you'll get a notification when I upload a new video. Have a wonderful week. And I hope all your boots match. Bye.